Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive issue that is quietly draining revenue from independent properties all over the world. We're going to look at exactly why your hotel might be losing international guests, and how a truly localized, multilingual website is actually your secret weapon for driving those direct bookings. If you've ever wondered why your international web traffic isn't converting into real, actual stays, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. Picture this scenario for a second. A potential guest sitting in Tokyo is searching for boutique hotels in your city. They find your site, they absolutely love the photos, and they eagerly click through to book. But suddenly they hit a total brick wall. The booking page is entirely in English. Instantly, you've created a frustrating roadblock. So, Section 1, the lost international guest, and why they leave your site. When a potential guest sees a price they literally have to pull out a calculator for, or cancellation policies written in dense, legal English, they bail. And here's the crucial takeaway. They aren't leaving because your hotel isn't a good fit. They're bouncing because your website just doesn't feel trustworthy to them. The digital environment makes them uncomfortable right at the single most critical moment. Checkout. Moving on to Section 2, a revenue, not design issue. The true cost of bad localization. That lack of trust, it comes with a massive price tag. We're talking 15 to 25%. Basically, every single guest who abandons your English-only checkout usually ends up booking your exact hotel through an online travel agency, or OTA, like Booking.com. Why? Well, because the OTA actually greets them in their native language. They win the guest's trust, and you end up paying a painful 15 to 25% commission for someone who was literally already at your digital front door.
Okay, Section 3, the 3 localization levels, moving beyond Google Translate.
To do this correctly, you've got to think of it like building a 3-layer cake. Layer 1 is adapting your content for the market, your room descriptions and policies. Layer 2 is configuring the technical setup to signal search engines. And Layer 3, which is honestly the step almost everyone skips, is optimizing the actual booking and payment flow. When you get all 3 of these lined up, a guest can go from a Google search to a confirmed booking without ever having to leave their own language or currency. It's seamless. Let's zoom in on that first level, the content. Translating with culture in mind, not just doing a literal vocabulary swap, is an absolute game changer. For example, you have to know when a direct English translation like cozy needs to be adopted to something like intimate and serene to actually appeal to the cultural values of international travelers. It proves you genuinely understand them, rather than just talking at them. Which brings us to Section 4, Steps to Do It Right, a roadmap for hoteliers. All right, let's lay this foundation. First things first, stop guessing. Rely on your property management system and Google Analytics data to pick your initial 2 to 4 languages. Next, set up clean URLs like /de for German. And this is critical, make sure you localize your booking engine, not just your marketing copy. Offering regionally familiar payment options as a quiet yet massive advantage for your conversion rate. And finally, write separate SEO metadata for each language. Please, whatever you do, don't just machine translate your title tags. Now, a huge piece of that technical setup involves hreflang tags. Basically, these are HTML attributes that tell search engines exactly which language version of a page they should show to a specific searcher. Getting these tags wrong is pretty disastrous. It means all those beautifully translated pages you just worked so hard on will stay completely invisible to the exact international searchers they were built for. Let's look at Section 5, Expensive Mistakes to Avoid, the Silent Killers of Conversion. The single most expensive mistake we see here is the half-translated funnel. Translating your marketing pages, but leaving your checkout in English is essentially building a 1-language checkout wearing a 6-language costume. Some other major slip-ups? Isolating freelang tags to only your homepage, forcing IP-based redirects that trap travelers who might just be using a VPN, and letting your translated pages lazily drift out of sync with your main pricing updates. Now, you might be sitting there wondering, do we need a complete website rebuild to fix all this? Well, the good news is, usually no. Most modern setups, especially headless CMS architectures where your front-end design is completely decoupled from your back-end data, can be localized without a total teardown. This means your marketing team can easily manage the translated content independently while the booking engine underneath stays perfectly stable and secure. And while you can totally leverage technology like machine translation for a quick first draft, keep this in mind. Anything guest-facing or legal, like cancellation policies and terms of service, absolutely requires a native-speaking human review. Trusting raw AI translations for legal text is super risky. It can completely shatter a guest's trust right at the exact moment they're deciding whether to hand over their credit card. So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought.
International guests are already out there searching for you right now. You are likely already spending marketing dollars to reach them. The real challenge is keeping them once they actually land on your site. So take a hard look at your digital front door today and ask yourself, is it truly welcoming them in their own language, or is it just tolerantly translated for them? Getting this right is your absolute key to winning back those direct bookings. Thanks so much for watching this explainer.